All right, welcome everybody. All right, we've got a little bit of a crowd tonight. That's great. Yeah, so we are jumping on again for a live sourcing session. I have been doing these for the past few days. I actually did miss yesterday. Yesterday I had a little cheat day, had to go work on our rental property, but we are back with it. We are doing these live sourcing sessions every single day for 15 days, and this is all leading up to Sourcing Camp. We are running a Q4 Sourcing Camp. It starts in exactly 2 weeks. So on September 6th is the very first night, but the tickets are on sale now. So if you want to sign up for that, definitely check it out. There's going to be probably close to 40 hours of sourcing content inside of that. We are bringing in 22 currently confirmed. There might be one or two more, but 22 at least 6, 7, or 8 figure active Amazon sellers. So we're not talking to like gurus, people like that. People who are actively selling are going to come in and they are going to source for us. They're going to show us how they source, where they source, why they source, the tools they use, the methods they use. I am just one person. I have my own style. I can teach you a lot, but I can't teach you everything. And there's a million ways to make $1 million. So we're bringing in a bunch of different people for Sourcing Camp. If you are interested in that, we've got a QR code. I think this QR code works. Let me double check. Oh, that's the wrong QR code. Hang on a second. There we go. That should, yeah, don't scan that yet. There we go. That should be the correct QR code. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and scan that code. But yeah, let's dive into it. We're going to start. I posted a question over in our Facebook group about 30 minutes ago, letting people know I was going to go live and asking them what kind of sourcing did they want to see. I was expecting more to get like answers of like methods or styles of sourcing. But I got, there was like 6 or 7 people that were like beauty, grocery, beauty, grocery, beauty. So, all right, if we want to go just specifically with categories where the method doesn't matter, but we're just all about the category, let's go for it. So I've got a couple things that I initially pulled up. I'm going to show you how we can use this, how we can dive into it. Since you guys said the method didn't matter, you just wanted to find grocery and beauty products, I'm going to use my newest favorite tool. This is called Nepeto. I've got a link if you want to try it. There's a 2-week free trial to this web scraping portion of Nepeto. Nepeto is, there's 2 parts of it. There is a completely 100% free phone scanning app, as well as a Google Chrome extension, which is like your on-screen calculator. Those 2 completely 100% free forever. There's no charge for those. Now I'm going to show you a web scraping portion of this Nepeto tool. This does cost a little bit of money. It's very affordable. And again, with our link, you get a 2-week free trial. So you could like get it now, start playing with it, and be ready to rock and roll as soon as Sourcing Camp hits. All right. So let me dive into this. And let's find some beauty and grocery products for you guys. If you have questions or anything like that, go ahead and throw those into the chat. I asked you guys earlier, I put a poll in the Facebook group, like what do you struggle with most in regards to sourcing? So put that in the chat. What do you struggle with most when you are trying to source stuff? What's your biggest pain point? What's your biggest struggle here? All right. Okay, let's see if I can correctly share this. All right, we have entered the matrix. All right, so I'm using a tool here. It's called Nepeto. Again, very affordable. This web scraping portion of Nepeto, very affordable. And if you want a 2-week free trial, just let me know in the comment section and I will send you a link to this. All I did was I went to the main like overarching web scraping portion. So I went to this OA tool right there. And then specifically because people in the Facebook group said they wanted to see beauty and grocery, I went up there to the category section and I just input those 2 things. Okay, those are the only buttons that I have pressed so far. You've watched my mouse. Okay, Nepeto has done all of the hard work for us. If you would like to put in further criteria, so for example, maybe BSR, maybe it's like, okay, I want a sales rank under, well, it's beauty and grocery. So I would say under like 300,000 is probably reasonable for those. Okay. If you want to narrow this down further, you can. You don't have to. It's up to the user, however you want to do it. I'm going to leave this open for a bit, and I'm going to talk through why I'm going to click or not click on certain ones of these. Okay. So my goal here is to give you a couple actual profitable leads And ideally, it would be something that you can sort of do a little bit of rabbit trailing on. Like maybe look, maybe there's other colors or sizes. Maybe that website is running a sale, things like that. So because my goal is I want you to do some further rabbit trailing, I'm going to skip everything that says Walmart. It's just there's too many people who source on it, and there's rabbit trailing is difficult on Walmart because there's not like sales. It's just too vast. It's like me saying, "Hey, go fishing," and you saying, "What's a good fishing spot?" And I say, "The ocean." Like that's what shopping on Walmart is. That's sourcing in the ocean. You can catch fish there. Don't get me wrong, but I can't really show you secret fishing spots in the ocean. It's just the ocean. Okay, so we're gonna skip that. I like Sephora. I'm going to look over here at the ROI. I see some things that are a little bit low. So let me add another filter here. Let's put an ROI. Let's put a minimum of like 35%. I think this will get us narrowed down a little bit further. Okay. All right. This first one definitely looks interesting. It's from Kroger. Kroger is a regional store. If you have a Kroger nearby, boom, there's a good lead for you. Check out this Welch's Concord grape juice, no, grape jam, this 30-ounce grape jam thing. Okay, if you have a local Kroger, go for it. I'm in Florida, we don't have Kroger down here, so I'm going to skip that. Fragrance.net, I'm going to skip that. I do not like this website. It's a little in like the gray market area. I'm not going to say it's a scam website, but it's not fully above board in my opinion. So I'm going to avoid that for that reason. Okay. Next up, we've got, oh, that's a funny place to buy oatmeal cream pies, Farm and Fleet. Now, I have sold so many oatmeal cream pies over the years. Let's see, this one, let's see, sales rank, 300,000. Because I thought that was a little above it, unless I'm misreading this. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll send them an email. They're super responsive, the guys over at Nepetto. It is a brand new tool, so there are a couple wrinkles every now and then to get ironed out. Like I would say that this is over 300,000 and that's over 300,000. Let me see here. And it is showing me some good stuff though I'm interested in. Let's see what we got here. Five Below mini starbursts. Yeah, I don't like that rank, so I'm gonna skip that. Walmart, skip that. Kroger, skip that. Kohl's Sephora lip satin stain. I don't love that rank, so I'm gonna skip that. I wonder if, yeah, I don't know why it's, oh, that's, user error, not Nepetto error. I put that as the minimum. I was like, why is everything so high? There we go. Okay, my fault, guys. All right, let's see here. Tracy, yeah, I love Nepetto. Just finished 30 minutes of sourcing with it myself. Yeah, I love it. It's so it's such a breath of fresh air. I feel like, Tracy, right? Like it's so fun, it's so new, it's so easy, and it just works. Everything they do makes sense. It's not overly complicated or anything. Yeah, I love it. All right, so fragrance.net, skip it. ShopRite, this looks interesting. We've got 51% ROI, just under $3 a profit. Let's check it out. So I'm gonna click on that link, and we'll click on this link, and let's do a little analysis of if we like this or if we don't. I think this is an important aspect. This is one of my favorite parts of Sourcing Camp, is just being able to see all the other sellers' analysis. Like, how do they, when they click on a product, how do they come at it? How do they think about it? What are they looking at? What data points are they looking at? And what data points are they not looking at? So, for example, like when I was first starting, I remember there's this one influencer guru guy who was always like, oh, you can't compete against Amazon, don't sell. If Amazon's on the listing, skip the listing. And so that was sort of like ingrained in my head. But then I started watching other people who are actually doing it, not the people who are like selling courses. And I was like, oh, wow, they are all competing with Amazon. And so then I started to do it, and I was like, oh, why did I never do this before? I can do this all day, every day. So that's why, like in my personal process, I will compete with them all the time, and I don't care if they're on the listing. All right, so let's look at this real fast. $5.49. This is from ShopRite. $5.49. All right, pretty good profit. Yeah, this agrees with us. The different calculators will say slightly different things based on your settings. It's not because the calculators are broken or one calculator is better. They're all calculators. It's impossible for a calculator to give you a different output if it has the identical inputs. That's impossible. It's not how calculators work. Calculators 2 plus 2. What is 2 plus 2? Well, 2 plus 2 is always equals 4. But when you have lots of different variables, like sometimes on one you might put your like cost to ship might be 50 cents in one and it might be 60 cents in another. Or one, so like ASIN-Zen, it might be estimating that your product takes 3 months to sell. And so it is adding 3 months of storage fees into this fee calculator section, whereas Numpedo might be using like 1 month of storage fees. Just for example, I'm trying to explain why different calculators might give you a slightly different result. Some people are like, oh, this calculator is the most accurate. That's not a thing. All calculators are 100% accurate. It's the inputs that will differ. And for the most part, you can set those inputs and you can change your settings. All right. So yeah, it's we're making about 230 according to this, 43% ROI. It's all right. Is it selling? It hasn't sold since back here, October 8th. So it's selling slower. Let's see, July, it sold pretty well, a couple times a week. The beginning of August, it sold really well. I mean, this was selling about every day, but it really hasn't done much in a bit. Let me pull this out to a year. What does it do around Q4? So, I see an interesting trend right here. So you notice last year, it's pretty similar. I'm gonna zoom into this portion. I'm gonna turn off this blue bar. I'm just looking at the sales rank. So last year, it was relatively similar, okay? It was selling every couple days, couple times a week, all right? And that was true all through like Thanksgiving, all through Christmas time. And then what happened? January 1st happened. New Year's resolutions happened. Diets started. So we went from averaging, I would call this an average of about 125, maybe 150,000 on average, to that rank going down, 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 down. And I would say the average here is about 75,000. So this is probably selling about twice as much during January as it was during November and December. We're coming up on Q4. We're coming up on these dates. So this could definitely be something. Now, it's not on sale currently. So I might add this to like a replen pipeline. Save this. I could get some now, but really where this is gonna really hit hard is if I can get this in by like December. So I might buy this like late next month, like end of September, because I don't need to get it in before Q4. I could send it in a little bit late. But yeah, people drink it warm. So winter months. Yep. Oh yeah, good point too. As it gets colder, it'll continue getting better. So for sure. Yeah, I see sales slow down here in May and June, and then they start picking up. It's a little bit slow now, but I'm not too worried about that. I don't think anything drastic has changed. Oh, this is probably what changed. No featured. So there's no buy box offer. It has been suppressed, which doesn't kill sales, but it definitely slows them down. Yeah, Amazon may just be suppressing this. That could change things. If I get this, I would go light the first time and then go deep based on that first sales. So yeah, that's sort of my analysis of this. I like it. I don't love it. I would call it a base hit. Someone was asking like, oh, what are all these terminologies? There's not like exact terminologies. I'm just trying to use colloquial phrases that people know. Like it's a base hit. It'll get you there. It should make its sale. It's not a home run. We're not going to sell 100 of these, but we might sell a couple of them. And if the buy box gets unsuppressed, and if we get into January, then it will sell quite a bit. It'll sell, I would estimate 2 or 3 units per day during the months of January. And maybe a little into February here. And maybe a little bit in December. Everything sells well in December. All right. Okay, so there's our first one. If you guys are interested in that, here is the ASIN. I'll leave it here on the screen so you can type that in if you are interested in purchasing it. And I got it from ShopRite, so it'll be very easy to do that reverse sourcing that way. I don't need to send you guys links. You are all grown people and input your own stuff. Can I add it directly to a Google Sheet or something? I do that during sourcing camp because there's so many. This is just a quick live video, so I'm not gonna like make a whole sheet just for this. Just type this into your browser, B0005XP6GU, and then find this on ShopRite based on the name. It should take you no more than 20 seconds to do what I just said. All right, next we're gonna skip Fragrance Net. We've got another one here from ShopRite. It's a $150, 60% ROI. Oftentimes I like it a little bit higher than that. This is a little bit low. I'm willing to go this low if it's something that requires like no prep and is super fast and is unbreakable. These are noodles, so these could break with mushrooms in them. Yeah, I'm not loving this. This is going to take a little bit of prep work. And with a rank of 231,000 in grocery, it's selling. It's just not selling super fast. So probably not worth my time for just $1.50. So let's move on. All right, next up at Five Below, we've got a beauty product here. This is saying you're making about $1.50, 30% ROI, but there's a difference here. The rank right here, 20,000, the top 0.1% in beauty. This is selling very fast. And this should not take very much prep at all. So let's pull this up. Okay, we'll pull it up there on Five Below. As we're going, guys, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. If you want to answer my question, I put the poll in our Facebook group. Like, what do you struggle with the most about when you are sourcing? What's your biggest pain point in regards to sourcing? Maybe I can help you here. All right, let's pull this up. City Gleams. Okay, so a couple different variations. We've got the 0.12 ounce and the 0.4. Oh, this is in a pack of 2. So let's just double check that we've got the right one. This is 0.4. 0.4. Okay, that's good. Hide for now. I wonder if no, they don't do this one yet. I was trying out another cool tool I was about to show you, but that's all right. Maybe on the next one. Okay, a couple different colors here. It looks like they are all priced at $4. Yep. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is come over here and let's check them. $9.99. I'm going to actually pull up the variations. I'm going to look at all the different variations here, and we will sort it by price. Okay, so the City of Gleams is $9.99, and Pound the Pavement is also $9.99, and both of these Amazon has told us have sold between 50 and 99 times in the past 30 days. So this is like hard empirical data. This isn't an estimation. We know this for a fact that it has sold this many times. Okay, so let's pop over here. Let's look for City of Gleams and the Pavement. That one looks like the mint. Yep, so we can get the mint one. And let's see. There we go. And City is right there. $4 each on those. Limit 5 per order. I believe you can put in multiple orders. Yeah. Oh, wait, buddy is telling me they put in 4 consecutive orders. I've done multiple orders from Five Below. So they shouldn't give you too many problems. They don't really mind resellers here. Both of those are pretty good. We'll keep it here on the City of Gleams. Let's put $4 as our buy cost. All right. Make about $1.40, 35% ROI. But again, like this is going really fast. Both of these sold 50 times per month. So if you put in, now they limit you to 5 of them per order. So you get 5 of those, and then 5 of those, 5 of those, 5 of those. Maybe put, I don't know, 3 or 4 orders. For example, I don't necessarily recommend going deep on something where you're watching like a public live video on it. You can, but I'm just giving you fair warning. There's lots of other eyeballs that are also looking at this exact same thing because this is a free live video. You put in a couple orders for this. Let's say you get, if I was sourcing this myself, if I wasn't on a live video, I would probably do like 2 orders of 10. So I'd look at 20 right there. So if we get 20 of these and we're making about $1.40 on each one, all right, 28 bucks. And that took me just a couple minutes to find. I'm happy with that. I'd put in that order. And what I would do from there is I would continue to search on Five Below. You could go through and you could see like, okay, do they have anything that's new? Maybe their back to school stuff is on clearance now that we have actually gone back to school. Maybe there's I don't see like a specific clearance section here that's popping up. Some websites make it super easy. It's been a while since I've shopped at Five Below. It's not a common website for me to hit, but I've been here. I like going in store a bit more than their online site, but it seems to work. So yeah, I would probably get a couple of those. I'm happy with it. Both of those were selling well. This one should be similar. Yeah, $1.40 on each one. It's selling about 50-ish times, maybe up to 100. Once you get past 100, it would usually say 100 plus instead of 50 plus. So I think it's between 50 and 99. But yeah, it's definitely selling. It's definitely profitable. The prep on this is easy. It's simple. There's plenty of other sellers, so you shouldn't run into any IP issues here. Amazon's sometimes on the listing. I don't care that Amazon is on the listing. What I would care about is if the buy box was $3.29. If the buy box is $3.29, I can't compete with that. I'm not profitable, so I would avoid it. I'm not avoiding it because it's Amazon. I'm avoiding it because the buy box is $3.29. All right, so yeah, I would do that one. I'll put this on screen, so I'll highlight that ASIN if you want to check that out. Feel free. The ASIN is B0C4K16FRJ, and we found that at Five Below. It's the Sally Hansen Extreme Wear Nail Polish. Should be pretty easy to find. Let's see. Doesn't a bit on that tell you when an item is suppressed like TA? I don't know. It might. Honestly, Shelly, that's not something that I personally even look into, because I sell on suppressed listings frequently. Yeah, it may. I'll have to ask them. If it is, it's not a setting that I have turned on. So yeah. What I will say, something interesting, Shelly. So as we all know, I use and like TA. One of their downsides is their mismatches. I do feel like I have to spend a lot of my time clearing out mismatches, and it's gotten better. It definitely has gotten better, but that's always a pain point. Nepeto has this really cool feature where if something is actually a mismatch, like, I don't know, let's say this is a mismatch and you report it. If you find 50 mismatches that are actually mismatches, they will give you your subscription for free. It's like they incentivize you. It's almost a good thing to find a mismatch because it will pay for the subscription. So they're so confident that their matchmaking is so good that they'll just give you it for free if you find 50 things that are mismatched, which I love that feature. I actually really enjoy finding something that is a mismatch. Everyday Unicorns in-store Five Below also takes tax exempt. Yes, so you can save 6 to 8% or whatever the tax in your area is by going in store. All right, let's check another one. We've got some Babe Ruths from Walgreens. This should start selling real well as we get towards Halloween. I would imagine candy just goes crazy. Starting in Halloween and ending at January 1st when everyone starts going on a diet. That section of time right there, candy is phenomenal. Let's check out this Babe Ruth. Oh, look at that. They're running a little sale on this. So 2 for $8, $4 a piece. Hide that for now. Top Cash does have a 4% cash back on this as well. So you would include this when you are actually making your purchase. Make sure to take advantage of all of those little deals and cashbacks and things like that. Yeah, I like it. They can ship it. Extra off 20%. Ooh, and if that stacks as well, then that would be phenomenal. If you get 20% off, if you order $50 or more site-wide. Interesting. I'm kind of curious if that works. Unable to add them to my cart. Oh, do they not have that many? Unable to add that to my cart. How many do you have? Couldn't do any. Interesting. So they might be sold out of this currently. Interesting. Here's what I can click though. From here, I wonder if anybody else has this Babe Ruth thing. So Nepeto has a built-in like reverse searching option. So where I couldn't get that at Walgreens, I do see Farm and Fleet has it for $4.49. Kroger has it for $3.99. So Kroger is going to be the best. If you have a Kroger in your area, that's going to be your best bet. Maybe Farm and Fleet, we can get that as well. $4.49 special. I don't see any coupons that they're running currently, but every once in a while they'll run a coupon or something. But all right, let's say we get this for $4.49. Or if you live near a Kroger, you can get it for $4. Or if you can get your Walgreens order to go through, you can get it for $4. All right, so we're making about $270, 60% ROI, not bad. It's selling pretty slow right now, I'm not gonna lie. But this is July. Also, this was meltable, so we can't really send this in yet. As soon as this is not meltable, so let's take a look at last year, November, December. Actually, the sales didn't pick up a ton. They picked up some. I mean, they were horrible back prior to that. There's no sales rank back there, no sales rank history. It was definitely selling. You can see the seller count going down. So I know that this was selling. I just couldn't tell you how much. Yeah, this is where we get into meltable seasons, so no one can sell it. It's selling some. Let me pull up like last December. I would say 3 to 4 times per week. If I had to just sort of give this a guesstimation, I would say this sells about 3 or 4 times per week during Christmas time for that $7.90. Now we're trying to sell this for $13, which might be a little higher. One problem with the Keepa data is this is going to be an FBM offer, and it's unfortunately just the way that the Amazon API, the back end data is. Amazon, it doesn't share shipping costs for FBM sellers. So while Keepa says that the new cost is $7.90, I guarantee you that this is $7.90 plus I don't know, $10 of shipping or whatever. So it's a little bit hard to compare apples to apples that way. I see historically buy box was, yeah, I would put this more like 10. I see $7.99, but when I'm actually looking at the listing, it's I'll show you. It's going to be $7.99 plus whatever the shipping is. Oh, actually, that one's all included. Interesting. There. This is the one that Keepa is pulling. $7.99 plus $5.64 of shipping. So there you go. Yeah, if we can sell this for this, you'd get some sales. I might get a couple of these. This is one of those things where it's like, okay, what's your worst case scenario? Well, your worst case scenario is it doesn't sell and you have to pull a bunch of candy back and eat it. That's a pretty decent worst case scenario. It's pretty low risk. Yeah, I would probably get a couple of these and then wait just a little bit for it to cool off and then send these in come like November. So send them in like middle of September so that they're in stock for like the Halloween, send it in prior to Halloween so it's in stock for the Halloween season and then afterwards. All right. Okay, let's look. Let's see if we can find one more thing for you guys, and then I will hop over into the comments instead. Yeah, I'll hop over into the comments after this. Oh, why there's 2 charts instead of 3. I have that in my settings. I usually don't have that third chart enabled. Some I don't think have that middle chart. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I could do a little research and try to figure it out. It might be that this doesn't have that middle chart. It's unusual that I'm utilizing that. This is not selling 50 times per month, and that would be the only bit of data that I would look at in that middle section personally. But I know you love to dive into the data, so maybe maybe that was a trick question. Maybe you know the answer, and I do not. All right, let's continue looking. Okay, we've got another one here. Ooh, this looks real promising. 71% ROI, $7 a profit from CVS. Let's check it out. So we'll pull that up there. We'll pull up the CVS one. And Burt's Bees just, I believe Burt's Bees just got like hard locked down, or it's in the process of being hard locked down for everybody. Maybe you guys can confirm that. Yeah, middle chart is the bought per month. It's not on all listings, Randy. I don't know if it's a setting that you can turn on and off, but I know it's not on all the listings. Well, there's currently sellers, so it's not currently hard locked. I thought for sure I saw something like an email or something about Burt's Bees getting locked down. Maybe I could be wrong about that. So do a little bit of due diligence here. Double check that you can sell Burt's Bees and that it's not getting hard locked down. If it's not getting hard locked, then this definitely looks interesting because we can get this for $9. Look at that. This is potentially a replens because this is not even on sale or on clearance or anything. Let's double check that it's a match. This is the 0.005 ounces. Is that correct? Let's see here. Where's the front of the box? I'm trying to like zoom in to see. I think that's 0.005 ounces. Let's see what this is. 0.005 ounces. Okay, good. This is the bronze defining. Make sure that's Hammered bronze, slightly different name. Sometimes I'll pull up the UPC. 754 are the last 3 digits. 754 are the last 3 digits. Okay, so yeah, it's a UPC match. Oh, and hammered bronze. It says it right there. Okay, so yeah, we're good. Yeah, I like that. Let's put in our buy cost of $9.99. This seems fantastic right now. The price has actually steadily been rising. Sometimes you'll see things that are like slightly tanking. This is about as high as it's ever been, but it's not like a spike. It's a gradual increase over time, which is nice. Yeah, very interesting. Let's say that the price does tank back down. Let's say you buy this today, and it's right now it's selling between like 25 and 23. I think today was the 23. Yeah. Let's look at sort of our I would call this like our worst case, like it drops down to 20. Okay. Or even we'll do a worst case. So let's try 20. Let's see what that looks like. If it tanks down to 20, you're still making $4 of profit, 40% ROI. Good. What if it drops all the way down to 18? This is the lowest it's been all year. You're still making $2 or 20% profit. Now, would I want this? No. Would I buy this product if this was the data that I saw? No. But I'm pretty confident that we could probably sell this for between 23 and 25. And if we're looking at the 23 to 25, we're looking good. So yeah, overall, I like that. Just double check that that you can sell it. Don't speak those dirty words around Burt's Bees. Okay, so apparently it's not hard locked. I thought I saw something, but I guess I was wrong. Yeah, overall pretty interesting. I like it. So we found one. I'll get you the ASIN right here. So that's B07YXBQY6J. So I'll put a heart by that one. Put a heart by this Walgreens Babe Ruth one. Put a heart by that Five Below one that we found earlier, and then put a heart by the Ovaltine. We skipped that because the website, skipped because the profit didn't quite match the velocity that I'm looking for. Okay. All right. Hopefully that helped. Let me dive into the comments section here. Make sure everything is still working. Good. Let me dive into the comment section and help you guys where I can. Also a reminder. So this is one of the sourcing sessions that I'm doing for you guys completely for free. I'm going to be doing these every night for 7 more days because this is day number 7. In 2 weeks from tonight, we are starting Sourcing Camp. If you're interested in that, scan that QR code. If you've scanned it, let me know that it worked because I had to fix it. So let me know if that QR code works. But we've got our Sourcing Camp. This is the Q4 Sourcing Camp. This is going to be the last one we do for the rest of the year. It's going to prepare us to just absolutely smash Q4 out of the park. It's going to teach us how to source stuff. It's going to teach us tricks, both for sourcing, but also specifically sourcing in Q4. We've got a number of breakout sessions about that. I'm super excited. These always are just phenomenal events. So I'm very excited about that. That's coming up. The tickets are on sale now, and it starts September 6th. All right, diving into the comments. Okay, over here on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Mohammed? What tool is that? That was called Nepeto. Let me get you a link for that. If you want to try this out, this is a 2-week free trial link for you. You can try out that web scraping tool. That was Nepeto. Makes it super easy. And actually, Nepeto has an Amazon to Amazon sourcing. So your next question was, can you explain about the Amazon to Amazon model? What if Amazon asks for an invoice? Then you send them their own order form, and they fully accept that as proof of whatever you need. Yeah, that's like the safest sourcing method out there. They accept this more frequently than retail receipts. I have actually had greater success rates with Amazon like online order forms than I have with actual legitimate wholesale invoices. Yeah, I mean, they should accept all of the above, but I'm saying like Amazon is Amazon, so they're going to give you issues. I've had the least amount of issues with Amazon to Amazon stuff. So yeah, and we are doing a ton of A-to-A breakout sessions inside of Sourcing Camp. I did one A-to-A, one of these like live sourcing sessions, doing some A-to-A a couple days ago. I think it was like day 2 or day 3. You can check. It was either on the Facebook group or on our YouTube channel. So I already did one a couple days ago, and we're doing at least 3 Amazon to Amazon specific breakout sessions during Sourcing Camp. So I'm really excited. It's something I'm passionate about. I do a lot of Amazon to Amazon flipping. Yeah, awesome. Hope that helps. All right, let's hop over to the Facebook comments. Check if you guys have any questions or issues. And again, if you guys have questions or issues, drop them into chat or answer my overarching question of like, what do you struggle with most in regards to sourcing? What is your biggest sourcing pain point? All right, let's see. Let's see. Hello. How's it going? Don't speak. Yeah, sorry about that. Amazon now has one of the checkoff boxes for violations. Just asking for the order number from Amazon. Doesn't even require. That is so interesting. I have not seen that yet. Yep, that's super interesting. Huh, I like that a lot. So Randy over on our Facebook group was saying specifically like when Amazon, let's say you get in trouble for something, you have a, is that for like any violation or a specific thing like an IP complaint? I'll use IP complaint as the example. So like if you get an intellectual property claim against you, usually they'll say, send us your invoice, all that stuff. Randy says there's now currently a checkbox where you can just check it and just input your Amazon order because so many people are doing Amazon to Amazon flipping and it's approved by Amazon. Yeah, which ironically enough, not everyone at Amazon knows that it's approved by Amazon. It's kind of frustrating because they just did this like seller breakout question session. And I mentioned this to them and they're like, oh no, we are not an approved source for, we are talking about ungating, but it literally says on their ungating page that you can send them an order form with 50 units from Amazon. And it's like, it's directly in their, like the TOS of the page for getting ungated and stuff. It's right there. And the people that were from Amazon giving the Amazon conference didn't know about it. So a little frustrating. And that's probably why people have this misconception like, oh, but that's not allowed. Things like that. All right, over on Facebook, Saeed, I think that's how you say your name. I apologize if that's wrong. Saeed says, with sourcing at Walgreens, they won't provide us an invoice. Correct. So you can't really use Walgreens to get ungated. Ungating is the time when you need an invoice. Outside of getting ungated, that like specific invoice word is not required. If you get an IP complaint, if you get an inauthentic complaint, if you get a counterfeit complaint, Amazon will ask you for a invoice or receipt from wherever you purchased this from. And as long as your invoice or receipt has all of the required information, they're good with it. So it needs to show the store's address, contact info, all of that stuff. It needs to show all the store's information, and it needs to show your information. Now, usually receipts won't really say much more than your credit card number or maybe your name and your credit card number. And so then you connect that by taking a screenshot of your bank account, showing this is my bank account. I own this bank account. Here's my name and address and all that stuff. And here is the purchase at Walgreens. Okay, so it works. We've been doing this. I've been a seller now for almost 8 years, I believe. Many other people here in chat as well. If it didn't work, none of us would still be selling. I've used many Walgreens receipts as proof of authenticity, as proof of whatever I needed to do when Amazon asked for one. All right, let's see. Jeanette, pain point, new people and getting gated and everything. Yeah, there's always new people coming into Amazon. That's an interesting double-edged sword though. So now again, I've been doing this now, I think just about 8 years. I lose track of time a little bit. Apologies. I've got 4 kids under the age of 6, so I lose track of time. But ever since I started, that's always been a complaint. Like, there's so many new sellers, and new sellers are ruining Amazon. Well, if new sellers were ruining Amazon, it would have been ruined by now. I mean, they've been ruining it for 8 years, so clearly it's not a huge issue. Okay. When you think about it, there is a significant turnover rate for Amazon sellers. Most people, when they reach some obstacles, they fail, but true failure is quitting. So like they hit an obstacle, it's like, oh man, I'm gated and everything, so I quit, I'm out. Or, oh man, I had this customer return a bogus item and Amazon sided with the customer. They're stealing from me. I can't believe Amazon would let that go. I'm quitting. I'm out of here. Okay. So there are always lots of new people coming in. but there's always lots of people coming out. And you'll notice some patterns, especially with like where you source and how you source. So for example, the vast majority of clickbaity content, like if you go to Instagram, if you go to TikTok, places like that, and I mean, I'm guilty of this too, because that's what gets clicks, that's what gets views. The easiest way to get a view is to go to a store like TJ Maxx and flip something like Nike shoes. It's easy, it's sexy. Even better if you're a female doing this and you can go to one of those stores. It's easy to get clicks, it's easy to get likes. So the amount of brand new sellers going to stores like TJ Maxx is incredibly high. The amount of brand new sellers going to a store, like we were looking at Farm and Fleet, the amount of brand new sellers going to a store like Farm and Fleet is incredibly low. So there's less churny competition. Yeah, and then you also think like, okay, new sellers are probably buying like onesies and twosies, where like an experienced seller, like let's say I am coming in, or maybe Randy is in chat here. If we come in, we might buy 100 of those Baby Ruth packs. Well, what's harder to compete with? Randy buying 100 of those, or 10 brand new sellers buying 5 to 10 of them? I would say that it's harder to compete against Randy than it is to compete against 5 or 10 new sellers with a similar stock level, but just spread out across all of them. Personally, Amazon tends to strongly favor giving the buy box to whoever has the most units as one of the, so like price is number one, locations, so like speed to customers, number two. Number three, in my opinion, as far as how their buy box algorithm works, it's the stock, how much they have in stock. So yeah, but yes, it's an issue. It's never going to get better. It's also not really going to get worse. It's always going to find this perfect equilibrium, because if Amazon is not profitable for beginners, then beginners will stop joining Amazon. And when beginners stop joining Amazon, then being a beginner on Amazon becomes profitable again, and therefore more people join. So it kind of finds its own perfect equilibrium just based on, does it work? And if it doesn't work, then people quit, and then it works incredibly well, and then people come in, and then it doesn't work, and so it kind of ebbs and flows a little bit like that. Let's see. Oh, and being gated and everything. Yeah, that is a frustration. They have been re-gating a lot of things recently. They've been getting a lot of bad PR in the press. Basically, people steal stuff. I mean, there was some lady that stole, it was like, I don't know, $400,000 of Legos or something like that, of stolen Legos that then or maybe it was like a group of people, or maybe I'm confusing my stories, but there was a lot of Legos that were basically being washed, like they were like laundering the money and washing the money via selling it on Amazon. So they were stealing the Lego sets, selling it on Amazon, and then turning the Lego sets back into real money. So they didn't even care. That's actually something to consider. If you're ever competing against someone, you're like, how are they making money? Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just washing their money. Maybe they're trying to turn their funny money, their stolen money, into real money. They're going to provide us with the receipt, and receipt is not accepted by Amazon. It is accepted by Amazon. It's not accepted for ungating, but it is accepted for everything else. Yeah, Randy just said, I just literally fought a counter with that and won 2 hours ago. That's so funny. So you're saying buy from Amazon to get ungated, then buy from a retail store? Yes, if you need to get ungated, this is another thing. So if any of you guys are following content creators who are charging you money for an ungating guide, okay? Step one, unfollow them, because they're just stealing your money because they can, because they know that you don't know any better. Step two, buy either 10 or 50 units from Amazon. Depends a little bit on the listing. If you want to have pretty much guaranteed success, just get 50 units from Amazon. Buy 50 units from Amazon with a business account that has your same like business address and all of that information on it. And that is like the best form of ungating currently. It works. If it's possible to get ungated in something, that method works. Now there's some things like Nike where it's like, they kind of let you apply, but then they don't accept you. So like there's some things that are kind of in this gray area, and for those, it literally doesn't matter what method you use. Amazon's just not accepting things. But as long as the thing is accepting applications for it, the Amazon method works for anything like Nike shoes, Adidas, Craftsman tools, DeWalt tools, beauty products, whatever this mushroom thing, like Expo markers. It does not matter what Legos. It does not matter what it is. The Amazon method works for everything. So don't pay for ungating guides Unfollow people who are trying to sell you ungating guides, because it's as easy and simple as go to Amazon and buy the units. It's very simple. I am new and haven't sold a pencil yet, but while going to Walmart, it's going to hang on a second. Let me read this before I'm gated in every category. So should I find something? Should I find profitable products? So yeah, when you're first starting, it absolutely feels like you are gated in everything. What you should do, there's a couple different reasons why something can be gated. The biggest reason is you're gated in the category. So for example, if you are brand new, you're probably gated in the category of grocery. Oh, and also another thing I need to note is a product can be gated for multiple reasons. And if you are ungated for one of those reasons, you still need to get the other reasons. So let's pretend that you are trying to sell Quaker oatmeal. Okay. That's probably for you, it's going to be gated under grocery, and it might be gated under the brand Quaker. I don't know. Some of the brands are different for everybody. So let's just say theoretically, in our hypothetical situation, it's gated for both of those. You could get ungated in the grocery category very, very easily. I've done a YouTube video about this. You can buy units from Amazon if you want, or you can go to frontiercoop.com, buy 10 units from frontiercoop.com, send them that invoice that works 100% of the time. It'll cost like 15, 20 bucks because you're buying like salt shakers that are like $1, $2. Okay, so that'll get you ungated in the entire thing of grocery, but there's still maybe some brands under the grocery category that are still gated. So maybe you could sell Cheerios, maybe you could sell that can of soup, maybe you can sell whatever else, but the Quaker thing would still be gated, and then you would have to subsequently also get ungated in Quaker. My tips for this are figure out what categories you can sell in, and then go to the areas of the stores that sell those products. So if you're gated in grocery, don't bother going to the grocery aisle. You're ungated in home goods from day one. You should be ungated in clothing from day one. You should be ungated in like kitchenwares, things like, so like cups and spoons and kitchen tools, gadgets, things like that. Tools is another one, like going to Lowe's, things like that. Toys is going to be ungated for you. And then once you find those category, books, another great one. Once you find those categories, then start to keep an eye out for, are there specific brands that you see a lot of that are also gated for you? So if you're scanning clothing and you scan a Nike shoe and it says restricted, Nike is restricted. All right, well now you know Nike is restricted for you. Don't bother scanning another Nike shoe again. And then you scan the Reebok, Reebok's gated. Then you scan Under Armour, Under Armour's gated. And then you scan Crocs, oh, Crocs is ungated. There you go. Okay, so scanning and sourcing, it's going to take a long time. It is a acquired skill. You are going to suck at it at first. We all sucked at it at first. Sorry if my kids are screaming in the background. It's an acquired skill. You're going to bang your head into the wall multiple times. It's going to take you a while. Think of this like Amazon College, your first few months on Amazon. If you make money, great, you got a scholarship to college, but really you're here to learn. So yeah, it definitely feels like that, but start to find the areas that you can sell and then start to source smarter as you learn some of the trends. Brands that are gated are going to be different for everybody. There's a couple, like Nike, for example, is probably gated for all new sellers, but there might be things like, I am gated in Pyrex. My sister was ungated in Pyrex, and that's just how our accounts were, just from like day one. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yes, Randy, those candy bars all day. Yeah. What were those priced at? Were those priced? Oh, yeah. Good point, Randy. That 13.19. Smart. Yeah, Randy's one of the speakers. He's coming. He's got a session on how to make more money with those candy bars that people don't realize. Can you speak more on OTDR, because I'm shipping daily yet my numbers are still dropping? I'm not currently doing a whole lot of FBM, and so unfortunately I do not have a whole lot of firsthand experience with this new OTDR. As we get into Q4, I will have more experience. And during sourcing camp, there are a number of heavy FBM sellers who I know will know substantially more about that than I do. I don't know everything, and I'm happy to admit that. And the nuances of OTDR and the tricks for getting that fixed, I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately. Yes. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Randy said he's going to be covering the OTDR rules. Let's see. Yeah, Randy. There's an FBM seller coming to camp. Her name is Amber. Amber does over $1 million per year, almost entirely during the months of Q4 and almost entirely FBM. It is insane the kinds of numbers that this woman does during such a short amount of time. It's wild. So yeah, she's one of the speakers. Randy's going to talk about it. He's one of the speakers. It's going to be really good. Let me see. Any other questions here? Yeah, it's key to know your ins and outs of FBM before we hit Q4. That's exactly why we're covering it and why we're doing this like Q4 sourcing camp before Q4 really starts. I didn't want to like do a sourcing camp during Black Friday. No one has time to learn, and no one worth their salt has time to teach on Black Friday. Like, I'm not going to be there. Randy couldn't come on Black. We're busy on our own businesses. So yeah, we're front loading all of this Q4 information. So everyone knows Q4, they can learn all of these tricks and everything. So they're set and ready to go to actually hit the ground running once it happens. Let's see. Yeah, a great way for new sellers is to just go around your house and scan anything with a barcode, and you'll start to learn what kinds of things are gated. Like I've got some mycorrhizal fungi for my garden here. Scan this. Do you have a can of soda on the wall? Scan that. Here's a coffee cup that has the barcode still on it. Scan it. Here's a book. Scan that. Here's whatever else. Like scan everything around your house and start to learn the app and start to learn what types of things are gated for you. So yeah. Is there another way we can find a profitable item rather than going to a physical store? Yeah, there's a million ways to source. Retail arbitrage is when you go to a physical store to source. Online arbitrage is what we were doing just a minute ago, where we're scanning items. We're just doing it from our computer. You will find different things in retail stores than you will online, and a little bit vice versa. So you can scan things online. You can search for products doing Amazon to Amazon flipping. That's another really common method. You can do things manually. You can use lead lists where someone just sends you profitable leads and you go from there. I don't recommend that for an absolute beginner because you're going to use a lead list incorrectly. You're going to kind of use it as a crutch and you learn lots of bad habits. But again, we're talking about all of that during sourcing camp. We go over so many different methods, but those are a couple large umbrellas that most things fall under. You can go in store, you can go online, you can do Amazon to Amazon flipping, you can use a leads list. That kind of encompasses most ways of doing arbitrage generally. All right. Okay, let me hop back, make sure there's no more questions over on YouTube. Can you show how to get ungate from Amazon for A to A? You just buy 50 units and then you send them. Like there's literally a checkbox on the, when you're trying to get ungated in something, next time you're gated in something, pull up that sheet that says, okay, please send us this information and it must include the following information. And there's like 7 or 8 bullet points. Okay. The very last bullet point says, if you are sending us an Amazon invoice, it must include X amount of units. And usually it says 50. Yeah. Hey, how do I fix my shipping charges? I am losing revenue. Any help? I don't know what your shipping charge problem is. My guess is that you're trying to do FBM, and my guess is that you didn't set up your shipping template. And so Amazon said that you are receiving $5 from all of your customers, when in fact you are charging them $0 for shipping. That's my guess. It's a pretty common error that happens. I don't know why Amazon says that they call it shipping credit. It's like, oh, you receive $5 of shipping credit. That doesn't exist. That's fake money. I don't know why it's on their app when you scan it. It's on the site when you look at it. It's so weird that they call it a shipping credit. That's not a credit. That's not something that you're getting. Set your shipping template up. I have, since you're asking this on YouTube, if you click on my YouTube channel and you search my videos, type the words FBM. I'm assuming you're doing FBM if you're asking about this. Type the words FBM, and I've done 2 really in-depth videos about how to set up shipping templates and all that. Let's see. When doing OA, how do you deal with products that don't sell? Ideally, on the front end, I can rule most of that out because there's so much data at our fingertips to sort of judge if something is selling, how well it's selling. You never know exactly how much it's selling. That information is impossible to know, but you can usually get a good ballpark. Like, okay, is it selling multiple times a day? a couple times a week, a couple times a month, once or twice a year. Like you can usually get a good ballpark by looking at the Keepa graph. If you're not looking at Keepa when you're making a purchase, you're going to be making a lot of mistakes unless you're pretty experienced. But yeah, that's let me see. Yeah, that's that's the main thing on the front end. Now, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Sometimes you make bad purchases. Sometimes you buy something and then the manufacturer starts selling it a week later and they undercut you by 80% and it's just no longer profitable. You can't deal with it. What do you do at that point? You pull your inventory and you count your losses, and then maybe you flip it on eBay. Maybe you give it out as Christmas presents. Yeah, there's different ways to do it, but that's going to happen. You are never going to have a perfect, like, oh, I've sold 100% of my inventory this year. That's impossible. I'm just gonna say that. There's no way that 100% of your buys were perfect buys and nothing was like damaged or nothing didn't sell or nothing tanked. That's just not gonna happen. So again, there's a couple different solutions depending on the problem. Maybe the price tanks. So maybe it's not like the brand coming on it. Maybe it's other sellers jumping on it and you thought you could sell it for 15, but then other sellers come on and now it's 14 and then it's 13 and then it's 12 and it's like, oh man, now I'm making $0. Here is one of the biggest like mathematical light bulb moments that I had with my business regarding price tanking and if I should sell out or pull it out or donate it or what. Okay. We're gonna have a little pretend situation here, Jeanette. Let's say you're trying to sell this product for $15. And if you sold it for 15, you would make $5 of profit. If you sold it for $10, you make $0 of profit. And your buy cost was $5. Okay, we're going to keep all those numbers in mind. We'll keep the math really simple. I apologize. I know it's not perfect with fees and stuff like that, but just for the sake of easy math so we understand the concept here. Okay, when you buy it, you are in the hole negative $5 for however many products you bought. So if you do nothing, you're at negative $5. If you sell it for 15, great. You made $5, like you made your money back and then $5 on top of that. Awesome. If it tanks and you have to sell it for $10 and you make $0, yeah, it's frustrating, but at least you're no longer at negative 5. 0 is better than negative 5. Now, here's where it got really interesting. What if it tanks further? What if the price tanks to $9? And now all of your apps say that you are making negative $1. Well, when I was first, not even when I was first selling. I mean, for the first like couple years, this is how I thought about it. It's like, oh, I can't sell this for negative $1. I need to pull it back to myself so I can donate it or get rid of it, because that's obviously going to be a better solution than getting negative $1. Later, I don't remember if somebody taught me this or if I just had the epiphany one day. I apologize if someone here had this conversation with me and smacked me on the forehead, but I realized, well, wait a second. I'm already in the hole, negative $5. If I pull it back to myself, I'm making negative $5. If I sell it for a negative $1 of profit, that's bad. I don't want to do that. But negative $1 of profit is $4 more than negative $5 of profit. So even selling it at a $1 loss is usually better than not selling it at all. Yeah, selling and recouping some money is going to be important. If it's truly tanked, then it's like, okay, this is not coming back. Maybe it's like a bar of chocolate and we're going into June, like, okay, I gotta get rid of this. You can't hold on to it. It's gonna be melting. Yeah, sometimes you gotta sell it at a loss, but a slight loss is better than a complete loss. All right. Okay, I think that covered all the questions that I'm seeing here. It's real talk, thanks. Selling, recouping some money or breaking into the, yeah. Anything else on YouTube? No, I think we're good. Sweet. All right, guys, we're going to come back tomorrow. I'm doing these Source With Me's every single day. We've got one more week of this. So every night I try to source slightly differently. Tonight, I was looking for beauty products and grocery products using Nepeto. Tomorrow, I don't know, I'll do something else. If you guys have requests, drop it in the chat. If there's like a category you want to see or a type of sourcing you want to see, maybe I'll do some Amazon to Amazon sourcing. I saw Mohammed over there on YouTube asking about A to A sourcing. So I don't know, maybe I'll do some more of that tomorrow. But yeah, that's what this is, all leading up to Sourcing Camp. If you're interested, make sure to scan up that QR code. I will, actually, before I leave, let me drop that link in chat as well in case you are like watching this on a phone and you can't scan it. All right, there's the link to our sourcing camp. Tickets are on sale now, and we are starting in exactly 2 weeks. September 6th is the opening night, and it goes for 10 days. It's a 10-day, sort of think of it like an e-conference. We call it the Q4